Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dodo Biscuits. I'm Joseph Mendelia. I'm here with David Rarichich and Dan Hoffman. Today we're talking about our first topic, Shatner in space.
In space.
90-year-old science fiction icon took a trip on Blue Origin, and left the atmosphere for a few hours and then came back.
That doesn't count.
Well,
I could go up, I could just like hop into a balloon and hover in the atmosphere.
Well, he was in zero gravity, and he hit going into the rocket. It hit 5 Gs. So that's a full astronaut experience as far as I'm concerned.
How many Gs do you need to kill a man?
I don't know. I can look that up for you if you really want.
Okay, let's look up for the next. How many Gs kill a man?
I think it's like 5. It's like 6 or 7.
Okay, so 7 Gs. 2 more Gs, we would have had him dead. No, I'm just kidding. I like Shatner. I'm not wishing his death. Please don't.
Yeah, same here.
Please don't write me emails.
Google's running slow for me. If somebody else can look that up for me. Google is down.
There actually is a roller coaster that they designed that kills people. It was like a form of capital punishment. It was a design. It was never made.
I just heard about this. It's somewhere in Iowa or Oregon, and it's called Super Euthanasia Coaster.
But the line for that would be like really short.
It's okay. From what I heard it on a podcast. It is it's like King to Cop, where it shoots you up.
Yeah.
And as you come down, you do 6 to 7 inversion loops. So you're spinning around in a circle like a toilet bowl. And by the time you hit the third one, your brain goes into like a certain, I guess, an anaphylactic, like kind of like a shock of sorts. And basically it makes you black out.
Mm-hmm. So
by the time it's a minute and a half roller coaster. And when you get back to the where the station is, you are unconscious and you are literally, your body snaps back into reality. Like as soon as the car stops the last time. They actually were talking about Action Park and all they kept calling it Class Action Park. Yeah. And I was like, nobody knows that the true stories of that place. That place I actually went to that place. That place was nuts.
Dave, did you see the documentary? I saw Class Action Park. I saw that documentary.
I saw the documentary.
A couple of people died.
More than a couple. There was at least 17 to 18 fatalities at that place alone. Along with
drownings, electrocution, some guy just flew off the Alpine slide. I went, and when I went, I just saw some bloody feet. And what they said in that documentary was true. I didn't do the more extreme rides because I was a kid and I was a bit of a wimp.
Probably saved your life.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, the one slide, you had to pretty much use other people to push you down.
Yep.
It bunched up, and people like pushing each other over. People were spitting on it. It's disgusting.
The wave pool was a freaking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It was just harsh.
Harsh.
It was a disaster.
Shatner in space and Action Park, definitely a correlation there. I see it.
Yeah.
Shatner never went to Action Park, so I don't know.
I don't know how he got on that.
Not that I know of.
He did get pushed aside as quickly as possible when Bezos came out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, guess what?" He's like, "Hey, I hate to say it, like Shatner was having a moment. Bezos comes over, "You want champagne?" "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have champagne." "Cool, I'll see you later." Walks away. It's
he was in tears when when he got off.
He had a moment. He was having a moment.
Tears of happiness or tears of crapped his pants?
I'd assume tears of joy. And then he went. The other thing he did, we talked about climate change and how the Earth is on the precipice of the apocalypse.
We had to listen to William Shatner.
It was very odd.
Like Greta Thunberg's been saying this for years, and she's only a kid. And we have to wait for William Shatner to.
Well, I would just wonder. Did he look out the window and see something? Like what made him?
He saw pollution. Did he check to see if the Earth was round? Because I think that will.
I think
I don't
I
think.
think they were flying over Los Angeles, so they were pretty much that was the case.
That's
They're like,
yeah.
it's like the air's getting polluted.
It's a little messy down there, son.
You were over to Los Angeles there, California.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say it's all gone downhill since friggin' what was it? What's his name? Phoenix took over that one spot of what was it? Of California.
Oh, you mean for pollution?
Oh,
Phoenix
no.
overtook California?
When Phoenix took over, he took over that one spot of California, and then that guy had to go in and blow up the whole friggin' place.
I don't know about that. I have to look that up now.
Are you talking about Escape from LA?
No. I'm surprised you guys didn't catch this one. It's Demolition Man.
I didn't see that movie.
Okay. I knew it was a movie. I knew it was
we don't allow Wesley Snipes in this house.
Hey.
I haven't seen that movie.
I saw that
except for Major League. That's fine.
Your own fault. Why would you reference that? It's terrible.
Because it's a terrible movie.
I've referenced much worse movies.
It happened in the past, though. Like we've passed the Demolition Man era, so
yes, but we've been coming close to that several spots.
What are we moving up to in terms of pop culture, movie-wise? Like, what's the next correlation to like a future event? Are we up? What year did Blade Runner take place?
My Google's down. I got no info.
We're up to Blade
2052.
27. No, I thought it was 27.
The sequel was
the original,
right?
Yeah, the sequel is 52. The original was 27, I think.
Are we past Running Man yet?
No, we are.
Maybe.
We are past Running Man. I was just watching that recently. That was like 2010.
Past MASH TV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was just thinking about that.
We're past a lot of those ones. Back to the Future, we've been past that a couple times.
In the future, 1999.
I mean, anyway, Shatner in space. I mean, it was a big marketing gimmick, I think. One, his age, and also who he represents in terms of science and science fiction. That Star Trek was actually built on science theory. So their episodes were always explored some kind of science theory. And while it was science fiction, they tried to kind of have some facts in it. And so it's a big deal.
I think they're trying to make space travel, they're definitely trying to push space travel for the common man, even though they're using really rich and famous people to do that. But I guess if Shatner can do it, then this grandma from Idaho could do it too. Why not?
Well, that's where it starts, right? The really rich first.
Send them all into space.
Then it gets mass produced, and then it's available for the lower level.
They keep saying, "Hey, this is safe. This is safe."
I'm not doing it.
But no, my brother, I saw my brother the other day, and he made a better point about who should have been if he was alive. Who should have went in space before Shatner? Spock.
Spock, yeah.
Leonard Nimoy. If they put Leonard Nimoy into space before William Shatner, it would have made, I think, space travel a little bit more. I'm going to say mainstream.
Or
they already put him on the monorail, so why not?
Yeah, that is true.
He got the monorail.
There's a reference.
What was it? Somebody, I think Takei didn't answer his phone or something, or check his messages. Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. But no. Takei actually, he ripped Shatner a new one with it. I forgot what the tweet was, but it was hilarious. It was just, he said something that was just like, well, that was a thing.
He said like in his snarky voice, I bet you.
Yeah, he said it was something about like, well, that's another dick that went into space. And it's like, oh.
He was unimpressed. They've had a feud for many years.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's very pleased with himself.
Yeah, him and Shatner always had a war. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure I know what started it. Probably it was something that happened on set of Star Trek or one of the what do you call it? And he just was like, no, fuck this guy.
And we're back.
Don't look at my ass.
Our second topic of the evening.
It's Metroid Dread.
Yes, Metroid Dread. So Dave, why don't you fill us in? What is the Metroid franchise?
Okay, well, the Metroid series, this is the 5th entry on the consoles. We don't count Other M for the Wii, not also including the 3D games. This is the 2D entry, which continues that storyline. But it's not really more about the storyline. This is about the emulation controversy with Kotaku, which is a website that, as of late, it seems, it used to be a respected site. I guess it still is in some circles, but it seems like they've been turning to clickbaits. And the whole controversy was that their article seemed to encourage people to pirate the game through emulators. It's newsworthy in and of itself to say that a game that's so new is being emulated successfully on a computer for technical purposes, but the way that it ordered it, saying, "Oh, we hope lawyers aren't reading this," and thank God for pirates, that seemed to imply that it was encouraging piracy. The whole takeaway from this is, I mean, Nintendo won't get hurt by this, but there's a small developer for Metroid Dread, and I forgot the name of it. I am embarrassed to say that. But these people have to make their money too. So to discourage sales is terrible. I'm gonna look up the name of the company. Let someone else talk.
So I mean, I don't know much about the article, but I mean, Metroid, I watched some of the gameplay. I hadn't played it. It's just like a side scroller running, jumping kind of game, right?
It's kind of putting it very simply when to discuss Metroid. Metroid's kind of an exploration action game. This game is tough if you're used to the games handing you things like, oh, you have to go here, you have to go there.
I like it easy.
It's like Super Metroid right now in terms of like, it won't tell you where you need to go. You just have to hope that the new thing you acquired will open up something somewhere else that was previously locked. And this is the whole game.
And you guys got me. I was playing some of Super Metroid on my Switch, and I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going. I am getting upgrades and stuff.
Are you in Brinstar, or are you in
There's a name
I went left. I don't know. I don't even know. I saved. I played it.
Get your morph ball yet, Joe? That's the most important thing.
I did get the morph ball.
Yeah.
Okay, the morph ball doesn't come till later in Dread, and that was bothering the hell out of me.
Yeah. Oh my god, I couldn't figure out how to get around certain things. And then they have a new enemy that actually is called Enemy, where it's EMMI, and they are literally indestructible. And the only way you defeat them is you have to go and you have to beat the central computer of the enemy in order to get their powers, or even just defeat them. And some of the times you have to figure out how to shoot this thing. Like once you get the means to defeat them, you have to then figure out how to like get enough of an aim at them, put damage into them, and then destroy them. But you have to give yourself space because they still have the ability to like kill you, in the sense that you're pretty much still, and you're putting yourself, like when you're aiming at them, you are giving yourself a free target, and it's a little problematic.
Damn, it's not the most satisfying thing when you finally defeat an Emmy, though.
Yeah.
Anytime I do that, like, it's the simplest thing, but when you do, it's just like, wow, that was
tough.
That was nerve-wracking.
Yep.
So
it's like,
so they make this instructions on how to emulate what's an established current.
They gave links.
Where emulation, I understand emulation, it's like a dead system, like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega, right? Those are dead systems. And really, a lot of people, the only way you'll really get to play it is if you find the system in a backyard sale, or if you emulate it.
There's a lot of gray area because people's like, well, you could buy it on Nintendo Switch, some games, but there's a lot of stuff that's emulated that you cannot legally buy.
Yeah. You can't find it anymore.
I mean, there's games by Rare Limited that Nintendo that published on Nintendo, like Cobra Triangle, Battletoads, the original. Speaking of Battletoads from before, you can't buy Mike Tyson's Punch Out anymore.
Nope.
You can't.
You can only buy Punch Out.
There's no Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The original Punch Out.
Well, I would hate to say the original Punch Out, because the original Punch Out was an arcade game.
Right. Oh, that's true.
So it's like the original home version of Punch Out. The Mike Tyson version.
Yep.
Family friendly.
Right. After you beat Sandman, it was immediately you had you have a new challenger, and that's Mike Tyson. And basically
Super Macho.
You had, oh god, Yeah, but
Sandman, Super Macho
fight.
Man. Then it's Tyson or Mr. Dream is who they
Yeah,
switch.
Mr. Dream replaced Tyson.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's also old computers that you can't emulate, that you can't buy anymore that don't work. It's, you know, you're preserving hardware.
Software.
Where people, well, my whole thing about this is that, you know, don't, you know, keep it under your hats type of, I have that stance on emulation.
Don't show your hand.
Yeah, keep it under your hats, you know, because this is important. You know, I think it's great that people can emulate things modern like this, because you never know what's going to happen down the road. And like in 20 years, are you going to be able to still play these games? Who knows? But don't broadcast it.
What I've seen some people making games for older systems. Like I just saw an ad on my Facebook today for Cobra Copper or something. Somebody made a new NES game.
Well, you want to see something even more mind-blowing? Hang on.
Sure.
I always like props.
I watched the gameplay though. I wasn't quite impressed with the game.
So
I like the idea that I could buy a new NES game.
This is an Atari 2600 game.
Awesome.
Made by the original people from Activision. And it plays on an Atari 2600. I didn't open it yet.
What's the release date?
2000 and like last year.
Wow.
2020. Well, actually, I think it came out this year. And there's another game coming out. Yeah, 2020.
That's fun that people haven't abandoned the system where you could dust it off and play a new game.
And I mean, another plug here, not a plug for me, but this is.
But it's like buying
the 8-bit guy.
It's like buying vinyl records. Like it's a very specific audience. So where's the money?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're hobbyists. They're not. Well, this is different. This is David Crane and Gary Kitchen, the original Activision people.
Yeah.
So they have a small business, but they're building it on a smaller scale. And they're selling collector's editions, and they're selling special editions. So they're making their money back on that. But it's definitely not like an ET or a Pac-Man or a Super Mario Brother run. So.
But I just wonder how, since the consoles are gone, right? Unless you're buying them used. So you have to find people who have a console that they're willing to play to then buy your game.
Well,
how much was that game that you bought?
Well, with these things, they also offer a ROM version, like for the Planet Attack of the Pesky Robots. It also comes with a disc image.
Okay. How much was it though?
The Circus Convoy was like $50.
Yeah, well, that's about what games go for.
I mean, it's a small production run. So, you know, less titles, but you could also buy the ROM version for like $20.
Yeah.
There are people making Commodore 64 games, there are people making NES games. So it's definitely a lot of people still making games for old systems, making Dreamcast games too.
Yep. Dreamcast it died, but it never died.
I mean, I know people make their homebrew games, but those homebrew games I always think are just too hard.
Depends. Some of them are kind of, I agree.
There's a certain amount of playability you need unless you're a hardcore gamer.
But there's also really good ones too I've played that were made like legitimate programmers.
Yeah.
Like people who worked in the industry now just doing it kind of as a smaller scale.
Any ones you want to name?
Yeah. If I remember her name, but it was for Commodore 64, it's a shooter. Let me look her up. Hang on, I'm sorry.
All right, 60 seconds.
I know that there was one game that was they built it. It was made by one of it was like LNT, it was like LTD, and it was like basically it was like people from that company. They made their own game. They were like, we'll just make it, throw it out there. Anybody picks it up, they pick it up, and they don't, whatever. It was called Battle Kid, and it was supposed to be like, it is literally the hardest game you'll ever play ever, because it made it just like I Want to Be the Guy, which was another game that was fucking ridiculous.
Sarah Jane Avery is someone, she worked in the industry, and she's been programming Commodore 64 games and like shooters. Zeta Wing was the one that everyone seems to enjoy. She has a new one coming out. She's working on an RPG that's Zelda style, and she sells on itch.io.
They're all
for is actually a great website for.
They're for Commodore 64 though. She's not making them for NES or anything like that.
She has NES stuff. I think your turkey's done.
Yeah, time's up.
Time's up. Everyone shut up.
All
Stop
right,
your yammering.
last topic. Our last topic is the Scream 5 trailer.
The anticipation was killing me. Thank God.
Yeah.
Eh.
So there have been 4 other Scream films. The first 3 were imagined as a trilogy and released in the 90s and redefined the horror genre. Though the second and third one were kind of shitty. And then 10 years later, they came out with a 4th one, which not very good. And then
didn't do too much.
Now they're doing another 10 or 11 years later, a 5th one.
Yeah.
No,
they named it Scream. They didn't name it Scream 5. They just called it Scream.
Yeah, that's confusing. But actually,
that's not yeah, exactly. That's not going to be confusing.
I saw the trailer. I thought it looked
the same as the first.
Actually, no,
Yeah.
I thought there was a dynamic there. They might have tricked me with just a good trailer, but I have never liked a Scream sequel.
I'm not a slasher. I mean, I get what they were trying to do with the original trilogy was to kind of turn the tropes on their head and discuss them and like kind of hang lampshades on all these, conventions. But
the second and third one were just filled with tropes. The first one was original.
Well, they were trying to re-examine the tropes that were examined the first time, and no, we're gonna do something different now. And
the first one the whole game was that it was like, this is everybody in a horror film always does this. Oh, everybody in a horror film does this. And this is how you survive a horror film. And then it's like if this person happens, blah blah blah, you're gonna die. This thing happens, you're gonna die. This one seems like they're like, oh, something is connecting everybody to their past. I'm like, I'm 100% sure it's going to be something that is blatantly obvious, and it will. And I feel like I kept like guessing it. I'm like, I don't want to give it away because I'm like, I kind of feel like this is how it is. This is what's going to be, and it's going to be like one of those.
Was fun. It had some twists. It definitely was genre defining, I would say. And the sequels were. I thought all the sequels were disappointing, despite all the money.
I mean, I'm not a slasher film guy, so I'm not the one to judge. I just got kind of bored by them after a while. It's like, okay, I don't like watching people just get stabbed all day. It's just not my thing.
Even the 4th one.
It sounds snotty. I'm sorry.
Which came out in 2011. Was you thought maybe it had some potential, but it was just. It's just like, why did they even make this? It was just so bad.
You said it had potential.
Yeah. I don't even remember who I think the fact that like you were able to, like, since the first 3 and the 4th one, like first one, the killers were memorable. You actually were like, oh, that is actually shocking to me.
Fonzie.
Like the fact that it was like, can I spoil any of it, or just like keep it?
For the
limitations,
it's many years ago, so honestly it was the fact that it.
All right, spoiler warning, so go ahead.
Spoiler warning. Okay. Anyways, the fact that it was Billy and it was the guy, his friend, Matthew Lillard's character, because it was them, it was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But then like you didn't, like, you in the second one, you couldn't see that it was, spoiler warning again, that it was the mother,
Jackie's mom,
like,
from Roseanne.
Yeah, Billy's mom,
sister, Jackie, whatever.
So
what's her name?
I
I forgot her name.
I don't know.
The actress, you know who it is.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. She's there. She's always all over it. But yeah,
Rory Metcalf.
Yes.
It never was thrown into your face. It was never like drilled into your head like with the first one, where you kind of didn't know who it was. This one, it was a character that you never even knew was there. It was like, oh, you're the killer? What the fuck? And then the third one was the same thing. It was like, we're given any kind of idea.
Like,
it was the half brother.
They were starting to pull, twists out of their ass at that point.
Tricked Billy and Matthew Lillard into being the murderers in the first film.
He was behind the whole thing, and
it's like, I did everything from the beginning.
Wes Craven must be spinning in his grave, unless it's good.
I do find it interesting that Courtney Cox and David Arquette are in the film together, and they've been divorced for several years now, and they
get along quite famously. I think.
Yeah. I think it's if they're getting paid enough, they're gonna give it. They're gonna give us the shit.
They met on that franchise too.
Yep.
Imagine being Courtney Cox and marrying the 1-800-collect guy, whatever that guy used to do.
Oh God, I just remember him from Airheads, where he was the creepy guy in the back room where he's like, yeah.
Let me back in.
What did you? Come on, guys, let me in. Let me back in. Dude, you should have ran. I want to come back in. Let me in. Jesus Christ.
I think they own a production company together too.
The modern day Desilu.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, and then
bless you.
He's done mostly producing. I don't think he does much acting anymore. Nev Campbell doesn't really. She hasn't been in anything of notice
lately.
Nev Campbell has the same face in every damn thing she does. I've never seen her do any other face except for like the.
All she does is these Scream movies that at least get notoriety.
Well, yeah, everything else she does, it's kind of like. You're in that? Oh, cool.
Nev Campbell.
It's interesting that David Arquette is getting top billing in the film series.
Probably he's actually more notorious than all the other ones.
But it's really originally it was Nev Campbell's movie. Now it's
absolutely.
Well, very important things about Nev Campbell. She's Canadian. She won 2 Blockbuster Entertainment Awards and a Fangoria Chainsaw Award. Ooh. So you better respect her, guys.
All right.
You know what this is? It's like they have a whole new cast coming in. It's like passing the baton, like the Star Wars movies.
Yeah, they don't have to do that.
Like the old cast comes back, and then they have the young cast now. It's like, oh well, now it's about you guys. That's the gimmick now, right?
That was not like the fourth. That was what they were trying in the fourth one, and it didn't work. And I like that's they're doing it again. And I'm gonna say the villain and I don't even remember who the killer was.
It didn't really work. It didn't really work with Star Wars 4 either, though, or Star Wars, whatever.
Force Awakens.
Yeah, Force Awakens. Like here's the new generation, and everyone kind of has mixed feelings about that trilogy.
They were like, all right, the first one was good, and then the second story came out, and we're all confused. And then the third one came out.
The same as the fourth.
Oh yeah, it was New
Force
Hope.
Awakens is just a New Hope rehashed.
Yeah, just reskinned New Hope, which was like,
Yeah, that's why I gave up on Star Wars, to be honest with you.
But the characters I thought the characters were that J.J. Abrams created were at least interesting. But then Rian Johnson kind of screwed with them, and then Abrams spent the whole follow-up movie trying to refix what he originally created.
Okay, but Nev Campbell, she was really cute in the 90s, but I don't think she was a lot of stuff. She won an MTV movie award too, by the way. Best Kids.
Oh,
Wild Things. So she was in Wild Things. That's right.
Yes, with her and I don't know. It was the one that was
Matt Damon. No, not Matt Damon. No, what's his face? Matt Dillon.
Ben Hooflick. I was about to say Ben Hooflick. Ben Hooflick.
Ben Hooflick. Ben Hooflick.
Ben Hooflick. You don't want to touch the mango.
I don't even know what we're saying right now.
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards, that's right.
Yeah, I had to look it up.
Denise Richards and Matt Dillon.
Okay. Oh yeah, the guy that looks like
All right.
He was in Something About Mary. It's
and Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
No, that was Sean Penn, I think.
Yeah.
And Judge Reinhold.
Sean Penn.
That's our show.
What was Time's up. Dazed and Confused. That was it.
Oh, that's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, and Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon was in that.
No,
it was Ben Affleck.
Yeah, that was Ben Affleck.
Oh well. You want to lead us to the plugs?
Yes. So that concludes
the plugs.
This episode of Dodo Biscuits. This starting this Thursday. Dumped will be at it's an official selection of the New York Long Island Film Festival. playing Thursday through Sunday in Lindenhurst, New York. You can just look them up online for details. And then, of course, a retirement disaster will be at the 1 Minute Film Fest in Franklin Square, November 6th.
1 Minute Film Fest. It's I guess if you go over 60 seconds, you're done. They gong you.
What they do is they give you, you email them, they give you 2 words, and then you have to form a story under 60 seconds with those 2 words. So they gave me retirement and disaster. So I made a film about retirement disaster and a 60 second film about it. And then they review it and they tell you if you're in, and I got in.
You can't call it disaster retirement?
I could do whatever I wanted.
Oh, okay.
Mix up the words any way you want.
Just November 5th in Broadway Comedy Club. Honestly, there's one in Belmore at Governor's, not Governor's, the Brokerage at same day, 10:30. If anybody wants to go out, you can. If you're going to perform, make sure you let Mike Nicola know. There's also a bunch of shows that I probably next time we do this, I'll have a list of things that I can put down. But I'm not doing anything until November 5th because I gotta wait until my hand kind of fully heals so I can do stuff and not be under the gun of stuff. Work related.
He's currently hiding in his bunker right now under the bed. You heard a noise outside.
Very much.
And I don't really have anything to plug except for my Twitter. It's at Dave TV Games. I haven't really been doing much content because I've been doing housework, building shelves and stuff like that, which needs to get done. And if you want to send us topics, you can email me at slippydippy@lycos.com.
Did you really? Is that really?
No.
Oh. Yeah, you guys can email us our questions. We have a Dodo Biscuits email. I'll put it up.
Or you go to the Facebook page, or you go to the YouTube account, of which I'm the only subscriber to that page on YouTube.
You get some views. We got like 3 or 4 views each week.
Those are all me.
Oh, they are. I thought we had like
The only subscriber. Right? I'm going to the web, Dodo Biscuits.
I love this show. Who the hell subscribed? Just Dave.
we got like 40 on Facebook though.
We have 1 subscriber, and I am that subscriber. So subscribe to Dodo Biscuits on the YouTubes.
Yeah, I don't like or subscribe. We always tell people not to like or subscribe.
Okay, don't do that.
Don't. We don't care.
Whatever the hell you
Smack
want.
the crap out of that.
Dave wants
that
you to like and
subscribe
subscribe.
button.
I don't.
Like, beat that subscribe button like it owes you money when you go to our page. Backhand the motherfucker.
All right, I'm outvoted.
Give me money.
Across the eyes.
But honestly, I don't care.
Unity.
We don't get anything
Hit the
for
bell
that.
and hit the notification bell so you can get annoyed.
Yep.
The constant
Every 5 seconds.
I don't want to be notified, but thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right, guys. See you later. See you next week.
All right.
Hasta la bingo. Yeah, it's a good idea. No one wants to hear about the drama with the cats.
I thought it was going to be interesting, but I apologize.
What's interesting about owning a cat? It's like, yes, I saved her from a fire that I started myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I like to play with toys.